I just checked my screen time, which might I add is fairly good, and I've realized that lately I've been spending about 2 hours daily on Safari. And also 2 more hours on TikTok on top of that, which sounds just right because TikTok usually gets the best of me. I've been ordering like a lunatic for the past week, so that explains my time on Safari. Scrolling for multiple hours a day and watching brain-rotting content is a stupid habit, and I want to spend my time more efficiently. So, I'm gonna swap my screen time with reading. 4 hours of reading a day is quite a bit, but if I manage to pick up a good book, then it won't be that hard. Also, for this challenge, I'm planning on reading 3 books. So, I have no idea what books I'm going to read for this video. So, I decided I'm going to check Alex's library here with you to see if any of his books might spark an interest. But he reads a lot of classics and that's not my cup of tea at the moment. He has a lot of Haruki Murakami, which is a bit too weird for me. Lolita here, I know it's a very disgusting but interesting book. That's an option. The Monk. I know nothing about it apart from the fact that it is horror. I was planning on reading this book as soon as possible, but I want to make a video in which I read only horror books in the near future, so I think I'm going to keep that for that specific video. Another book which I'm interested in, which is Life of Pi. To be completely honest with you, I judge books by their cover, and this cover is quite nice. These 3 books don't really get me into reading at the moment, so I'm gonna be for real now. I'm gonna check TikTok for some book recommendations. I have 2 books now. The first one is Haley Phamb's favorite romance book, I think so, one of her favorite books, which is Bitch Read. I don't know what it is about, apart from the fact that it is romance. Since I was telling you that I judge books by their cover, I am going to do that again. Winter in Sokcho has a beautiful cover, so we're gonna read that. I have no idea what this book is about, but I'm assuming it has something to do with a winter in Korea in Sokcho. I don't have an option for the 3rd book right now. I am considering trying for the first time a Colleen Hoover book, but I'm not sure about it, so maybe something different. I'm going to figure it out. I really like not knowing anything about the books I'm about to read. That's why I specifically avoided looking up what Beach Read and Winter in Sokcho are about. Because I did that with my favorite book, Pachinko by Minjin Lee. I just found it in the bookstore, I picked it up and I started reading it. I am doing that again. Hopefully I'm going to find another very good book. Hi there, it's me again. It's almost midday and I did absolutely nothing apart from taking a shower and making myself a coffee. Now, I am ready for some romance. I did check out Goodreads, and apparently Bitch Read has over 1 million reviews, which is a lot, and it's safe to say that I have really high expectations for this book, and I'm very excited. I did ignore all reviews so that I do not know what the book is about. The sugar saves it. I will be reading on my Kindle, even though I like books a lot more and I love the smell of books, and it's just a different feeling when you are reading from a real book. But I end up picking up my Kindle every single time because it's much more comfortable, so I'm just gonna stick to the Kindle for this book. I'll start preparing my little reading corner right here while my future self is going to tell you what this book is about. Even though I don't know what the book is about beforehand, I think you should, so I'm just gonna read the synopsis real quick. A romance writer who has lost her faith in love and a literary author suffering from writer's block end up as neighbors in beach houses for the summer. January Andrews, who writes feel-good happily ever afters, and Augustus Everett, who specializes in dark literary fiction, couldn't be more different. When they strike a playful deal to swap genres, they embark on a summer of creative experiments, quirky field trips, and unexpected discoveries, not just about writing, but about themselves. Neither plans to fall in love, but life has other ideas. So that's what the book is about.
I've
I've been reading for almost 40 minutes now, and I am half asleep. I don't know how I'm going to be able to read for 4 hours straight. Up until now, I think I've understood the vibe of the book. We've met Everett, which is the love interest, most probably. I don't really have an opinion up until now, only that the book seems to be cozy and easy to read. One thing that I've noticed is that their conversations seem somewhat unreal sometimes. So, I'm gonna give you an example. The two main characters are talking about book genres, and their conversation is a bit too heated. I mean, they barely know each other and they are arguing about taste in books and their opinions, which seems a bit over the top for me. I wouldn't have a fight with someone over what books I prefer, especially if we don't really know each other. That being said, this aspect doesn't really stand out too much and it doesn't affect my overall view of the book. I still like it and I still enjoy reading it. I haven't picked up my phone at all up until now, which is a good thing because usually I pick up my phone probably 200 times a day. And now I don't even have the energy to scroll on TikTok or check out Instagram because this book has all my attention. Are you familiar with TikTok book recommendations when it comes to romance books? If you're not, I'm gonna tell you that most of the books from Book Talk are mainly porn. I don't really like that. Extremely graphic scenes, it's way too much. And with this book, I like when a romance book is just that. A romance book, not more than that. I like to, how can I say this? Peek through the keyhole at what's going on. I don't want to be there with them. I want to be just looking from afar. Do you get what I mean? I'm just gonna hop off because I'm probably gonna break my neck here, so I'm gonna continue reading in the house. It's 6 a.m. and I finished the first day of this reading challenge. Reading for 4 hours, I'm not gonna lie, felt like I didn't have enough time for whatever I wanted to do today. A big part of that is me waking up very late. But if I were to scroll on TikTok for 4 hours, up until now, I would have definitely started banging my head on every wall in this room. 4 hours of reading doesn't make me feel as bad as 4 hours of scrolling. TikTok literally feels like it fries my brain. That's what I wanted to say regarding phones and books, but regarding the book itself, it's not only romance and sex scenes. As I said before, it's a bit more interesting than that. It is not a mind-blowing book when it comes to the plot or the characters, but I didn't even expect that anyway. It is rather a cozy read and a relaxing one, which is what I was looking for. It was easy to read, so that is a plus. The day is basically over. I'm just gonna head outside and go for a short walk, have dinner and go to sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm at chapter 17, which means I'm 51% into the book. Let me check for how long I've been reading, because I have no idea. Let's see. I forgot to press start on the timer, so let me check. 1:45. I read for an hour and 20 minutes. I have 2 hours and 40 minutes left, so let's set a timer for that. Now we're good. Hopefully I don't forget again. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I haven't done anything yet apart from taking a shower. I like the book. It's very cozy. I keep imagining that the book is set during winter because probably I am waiting for Christmas and yeah, probably that's why. It's not. It's set during summer.
I'm just gonna read here for a bit because I don't want to sit on the couch. Sorry about the light, not a very flattering angle. Okay, better. Ignore that. I'm on the balcony even though it's quite cold here because I just need some fresh air to be able to be concentrated on the book. I'm invested right now and I really want to finish it. I won't finish it today, unfortunately. If I were to describe this book in 3 words, I would say that it is cozy, a bit deep kind of, deeper than I've expected, and funny, even though it's not mostly funny. There were a few moments that just made me laugh. One Christmas tree and 2 sex scenes later, I finished my 4 hours of reading today and I am 81% through. And I have 1 hour and 28 minutes left. I'm gonna see you tomorrow for the next 4 hours. Bye! I don't usually cry while reading books, but with this one I did cry quite a bit. It was just very beautiful. Something happened in the book that was just very beautiful. That I've read up until now didn't have this moment or this thing that really is emotional. I don't have a lot of the book left, about I think 45 minutes, so I'll just go finish the book and I'll be back in front of the Christmas tree to tell you how it was. So I just finished Bitch Read and I am 1 hour and a half into today's reading challenge, and I really like the book, but I wrote down a few things that I want to tell you so I don't forget. First of all, I liked the humor and the depth of the characters. I feel like there was like a good balance between that, and even though, I don't know why I'm breathing so heavily, even though at the beginning I felt like their conversations were a bit maybe scripted or something, when I got to understand the characters, I felt like they were genuine. So I don't know why I thought that the conversations were a bit weird. I really liked their interactions by the end. Obviously, as any romance book, it has a turning point. After everything looks fine, there's a turning point and then we go back to everything working out. I don't dislike that. It's a normal thing I usually see in romance books. I really liked that I understood more of a writer's mind. Maybe knowing the life of a writer is interesting to me, and that's why I enjoy the book even more. I can't say too much because then I'll give a lot of spoilers, but the book makes you see things differently in a way. I usually like when books or even movies like show you something and you have an idea about maybe a character or a situation, and then they show you something else and your perception is completely different now. And I really like that. If you like romance books, then definitely you will like it. I would say it's a 4 out of 5, not because there's something wrong with it, just that's how I feel about it. I think there are other romance books that I will like more, but I think that is very subjective, so it is a good book. Now I'm going to start Winter in Sokcho, but I'm gonna read it on my Kindle again because I looked for it in the libraries nearby and couldn't find any copy of it, and I really like having like real books when they have nice covers. Very superficial of me, but I like that. Didn't find it, so we're gonna stick to the Kindle. Let's get started. I'm just gonna read here for a bit. Don't be worried or disgusted or something. I sit on the floor all the time. It's just my thing. I would rather just sit on the floor than in bed. This is me telling you the synopsis after I've read the book, but I'm just gonna quickly tell you because I think you should know what the book is about before me reading it. In a quiet off-season Korean seaside town, a young woman working at a guest house meets a French comic artist searching for inspiration. As he observes Sokcho's unique blend of tradition and modernity, she is drawn into his world and begins to comfort her own identity and desires. This atmospheric novel captures the stark beauty of Sokcho and the simmering tension between the familiar and the foreign. I took a break because In the previous days, I didn't manage to do much when I read in one full big long session. So I'm just gonna split it up and I'm gonna read in a couple of hours because I'm a bit tired and I plan on doing other stuff today as well, so I'll be back. I like filming on the floor today. The book is very choppy, or rather fragmented. Okay. It seems as if the author is stating facts instead of telling me a story, which I don't really like. On the other hand, what I like is that I am getting a glimpse at Korean societal values and moral values and expectations, which I enjoy very much. So I'm gonna continue and see if I'm going to end up liking it. It has such a cold style of writing. The cover looked very cozy. I am 50% in. Nothing interested happens. When I'm saying I don't like the style, I'm not talking only about how the book is written, but also the characters. I don't like them at all. It's just a very weird book. How can I explain it? Reading this book is as if I've covered myself with a wet blanket. This is exactly how I feel. It's just uncomfortable. Even though it is a small book, painfully long. Literally nothing happens. I did mess up the timing for today's reading session, but I'm gonna figure it out and tell you exactly how much time I spent for each of these books today. We are changing angles for this last part of the video. I finished the book and I'm glad I did. The book is not about what's happening, rather it's about the atmosphere and the vibe. That's what I meant. So the atmosphere and the vibe is the most important thing here, and the author tried to have a philosophical approach to showcase their emotions and their problems, traumas, or whatever, which you might like. I didn't. Maybe sometimes you shouldn't judge a book by their cover. It worked for me once, now it didn't. Hopefully next time, I'm gonna try it again. Hopefully next time I'll find a book I really enjoy. Also, I was very confused with how much time I spent on each book today. So I tried to think back, and I spent roughly 2 hours on each of these books today. So it added up to 4. I'm gonna change the angle. I think it's weird, right? Christmas tree. Let's do the Christmas tree king again. For this challenge, I wanted to read 3 books, but after reading this last one, I'm not really in the mood for another one. And I think we're gonna stop with 3 days and 2 books. What I noticed after this challenge is that reading for 4 hours can be tiring, especially if you do it all at once. Even though I do not scroll usually for 4 hours without a break, it eats up a lot of my time. With this reading, I managed to have maybe an hour of screen time every day, and that's mostly me searching for things or using ChatGPT, because I just ask him a lot of things and then just have a conversation. I didn't scroll on TikTok or ordered more stuff, so that's a plus. This video was rather spontaneous because I had a different plan. When I'm scrolling on TikTok, usually that's very anxiety inducing for me. I get anxious and fidgety and whatever. When I'm reading, usually that doesn't happen, but if I'm reading for too much time without a break, at the end of it I feel a bit stressed or fidgety. But as a whole, reading feels a lot better than scrolling on my phone mindlessly. My next video is going to be about Christmas books. I am going to read as many Christmas related books as I can up until Christmas. So if you want to see that, you can go check out my YouTube channel because the video is going to be up real quick. Thanks for watching.